Did you know that right now about 1 in 3 women are reporting symptoms of depression or anxiety at a clinical level, according to the CDC's most recent surveys? And this is an increase of about 10% from 2018 when the CDC did its official survey, right? I mean, I know we know this because it's COVID and it's obvious that all of us are struggling, right? But women in particular are concerning me. Rates of drug and alcohol use are going up, rates of suicide are going up, rates of depression and anxiety are going up. And what we're not seeing a counterbalance of enough in our culture is what can you do, right? What can you do instead when you're feeling this depressed and this anxious? I know it's a struggle. Believe me, it's a struggle for me too. What I also know is that women tend to be their biggest barrier here. Hi, I'm Dr. Natalie Marr. I'm a clinical psychologist and a life transition expert. So I've been working with women in midlife for the better part of 16 years. And sitting across the couch from women just like yourself, struggling with depression and anxiety in normal times was hard enough. But now during COVID, it has really become difficult. And here is how we participate in our own suffering. We double down in our old habits, right? We start to be more perfectionistic. We overwhelm ourselves even more with to-do lists. We really are competitive with one another, wanting to fit in, but at the same time wanting to stand out. It's so weird. We want to be the best, right? And we think that somehow by attaining this, then we'll arrive at feeling better. And yet we never have been able to get off that hamster wheel and feel better because it's just a hamster wheel. You never really attain that goal. Perfectionism is not what you really wanted, and it wasn't going to absolve you from all of your discomfort, from all of the suffering. It isn't like that. What really can be more helpful is to get off that hamster wheel and start to really manage, what am I okay doing here? What do I really need in my life? And what are things that I've been told or have conditioned myself or both to tell myself are going to get me to that wonderful land of peace and where I finally feel good about my life? Start to really ask yourself, pull it apart and start to really ask yourself, what's most important to me? Is it the mask? Is it how I'm appearing to other people? Or is it feeling good on the inside? And then start to take some inventory on when you're feeling good and when you're not. I guarantee you, if you can have some compassionate awareness about this, you'll start to notice you participate in your own suffering when you're starting to put more time and effort into putting the mask back on and looking good to all the people out here versus taking care of what really matters to you. Like, if you have a day where you feel the best and it's because you never put makeup on, didn't take your sweats off, and stayed home all day, that's an important factor. It means your body mind is telling you you need more time for rejuvenation. You need more time for yourself. You need more downtime and less putting the mask on time, right? I want you to really spend some time, the end of this really crazy year, second year in a row that it's been just crazy. I want you to spend some time thinking about these things. I want you to spend some time really asking yourself, when is it that I'm feeling the most peaceful? What is it that I'm doing during those times? And can I be putting more time and effort into that than I am this ideal that I've been given, that I've bought into, and that I keep perpetuating on a hamster wheel of putting a mask on and appearing to everybody else like I have it together, when in actuality, none of us have it together. That's what the statistics say. 1 in 3 women telling us depression and anxiety. Wow, that's huge, people. You can't even toss a rock and not hit one of those women right now. And those are the women that are taking care of us. They're the backbones. They're the matriarchs in our families. They're in our healthcare systems in way bigger levels, right, than men are. It's a hard thing for us to believe that we are that backbone and that we do need to take care of ourselves. That's the truth. We need to put aside these ideas that if we attain perfection, if we attain these goals that have been saddled onto us, that that's what's going to make us feel good. We need to set that aside, and we need to start taking some really hard looks at the end of this year at what really made us feel better. And our New Year's resolution really should be, how are we going to replicate that in 2022? How are we going to take the focus and put it on what we need from ourselves instead of on what continues to draw away our power, draw away our energy, and draw away our joy? The focus really needs to be on doing the kinds of things that make us feel good, because it's important that we do these things for ourselves, but that we don't participate in suffering again by making ourselves feel guilty about that. So let's let go of the guilt as part of our New Year's resolution, and let's look towards what brings joy for us, what brings peace for us, what brings contentment, and replicate doing more of that in 2022 than the things that we've been taught were supposed to make us feel good or have conditioned ourselves to believe are supposed to make us feel good. Stay compassionately self-aware, and you too can learn to love your story.